Right now, speaking of having babies, Mark Wood, our good friend, had a baby a couple years ago. He used to be a funny guy, like a stand-up comedian. He was so funny. We'd always be doubled over in laughter at Mark Wood.
Howling.
Then he became a dad, and now he just tells dad jokes. I'm going to pause as if there's a dad joke sounder because I need to make a dad joke. Oh, yes. Oh.
Is Danny Tanner not the most dad person ever?
Yeah. Look at this. I was setting you up to fail,
He's
John
my role
Rand.
model.
I was like, we don't have a dad jokes sounder.
You know what they say, a blind squirrel finds a nut every now
But
and
you
then.
do have a dad joke sounder. This is a perfect dad jokes intro. Again, you may have seen dad jokes at Hurricanes game. They stole it from us. We invented dad jokes. We created them. And now Mark Wood will take us through some of the things he's been looking at in the sports world using dad jokes. Mark, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, guys. I have to say, though, much like the rotation of the Earth, being on this show really makes my day.
They're starting early. So you got to listen carefully. There's dad jokes strewn throughout this thing. But yes, all right, keep it going. He's going to see if you can make us laugh. Mark Wood.
What do you say when you see the number 0 running?
I don't know. What do you say?
Here goes nothing. Let's do some dad jokes. Get it?
Yep.
Get it?
Yes.
All right. So, why did UNC get rid of their Windows PCs?
Wow, a Windows joke. I'm already excited. No, why did they?
Because they're switching back to Mac.
All right.
Nice.
Okay.
That's good.
Yes.
Mac Brown,
You're laughing in your car.
back
You know
in
you
North
are.
Carolina for a second stint. I mean, I was 5 when he left for Texas, guys, so I really don't know a whole lot about Mac Brown at North Carolina. But I did hear a lot of stories this week from different media personalities and whatnot, including that he had a fish tank in his office, which was pretty.
It was actually
weird.
interesting. It was a fish tank that was supposed to go in his office of the new building that got built. Then he left, and so the fish tank got put in the Ronald McDonald House. And so I don't know if he's going to be able to get it back. But yes, Ed Harden.
Oh, that'd be awful if he did.
Yeah, I'm going to need that fish tank back. No, I don't think he'll be taking it back.
But that got me thinking about his new office since the
Okay.
stadium's been redone and everything. Do you know what Mac Brown said when he walked into his newly vacated office?
No clue.
Where's the fish tank? No, I don't know.
He said it was fedorable.
No. No. I'll give that a Kawhi laugh, not a sincere laugh. No laugh, man. So you don't remember the Mac Brown coaching era at all?
No. He left in '97, I believe, and I was 5 years old, so I don't know much about it.
I have always thought of myself as younger than I am. And so when people were talking about the 97, UNC Florida State game, kind of the peak of making the ACC championship game is obviously one of the highs, but that game was probably the biggest game ever played in Kenan Stadium. And I was there. And I felt like it's like, yeah, we all remember that game. And then I remember a lot of people are a little bit younger than me and don't remember that experience at all. But it was cool. And we'll see what people remember from the second Mac Brown era. We'll see if it's as many nice memories as the first one. All right, what's up? What do you got next, Mark?
Poor Scott Darling. His season has really gone off the rails. Shout out, Train Watch 2018.
2018, yes.
Stay diligent. Stay diligent.
After clearing waivers and being shipped back to Charlotte this week, the Scott Darling experiment has finally come to an end.
Yep.
To make matters worse, the guy can't even have his own website.
Scott Darling, not allowed to have a website?
Turns
Why?
out to have a website, you have to be able to string 3 W's together.
Oh.
Am I right? Did he not even? He couldn't even string 2
No,
W's together, right?
No,
This
he did
whole
not have
time.
back-to-back wins, no.
So yeah, no way he
Two-year
was getting.
stint here. He didn't. I believe he didn't have a single 2-win stretch
Were you? When did you cut bait on the Scott Darling era, Mark?
last year.
Last year?
Oh, I was done last year.
Like I said, I'm a sucker. Much like my support for Ron Rivera continues. When Luke DeCock wrote that, now he's been trying hard and he's gonna. I was like, man, yes. This guy, I want this guy to do well, and because I want him to do well,
He's
is
such
going
a
to do
nice
well.
guy. That's the part that stinks so much about it. Just because he's such a nice guy. And even our guys at Section 328, they're big on Scott Darling. But it had to happen. It was time.
The only suggestion I would put at Darling that maybe he doesn't know, maybe the karmic world has come to get him. Maybe lose the Barstool hat.
Yeah.
Maybe lose the Barstool.
It's a good idea.
Try it without the Barstool. See what happens. All right, what else you got, Mark?
What do you call a man with a rubber toe?
I don't know. I'm scared. to answer this.
Roberto Gomez was signed to a minor league deal with Max's very own Pittsburgh Pirates this week.
Who did this?
The pitcher Pirates, Roberto Gomez. Don't know who he is.
Are we-
I literally have nothing else to
Wow.
say about
We're
this.
bringing you Pittsburgh
You
Pirates
don't
news
know
and
about hot stove news
What
here
kind
right
of
now?
baseball
I
fan
have
are
nothing
you?
else to say about this. I just wanted to use Roberto as a joke. That's all I got
I
on
don't
that
think
one.
that's a real is that real?
It's a minor
That's a
league
real
deal.
thing. Roberto
Yeah.
Gomez.
I've
He's
never heard of
apparently
this
a
guy.
minor league
This is
player
the
for
most exciting
Pittsburgh.
part of the baseball calendar.
It's very minor. Don't worry about it, Max. You're good.
What about Lonnie
minor.
Chisenhall? They picked up Lonnie Chisenhall.
But
Yeah,
his
we don't
his
know.
name doesn't
We don't have any good
dad
Chisenhall
jokes. in it,
jokes.
so.
Give me 3 minutes.
I was like,
Yeah.
Max is going to
Max
have a
come up with a
Chisenhall.
Chisenhall
All right,
joke.
by the end of this segment, we want the best Chisenhall joke you've got.
The Wolfpack have been back in the news a lot this week.
Yep.
First, after knocking out rival UNC, get it because they fought at the end of the game. They knocked them out.
Knocking out, yes.
We
yes.
all
it's a
saw-
It was
celebration.
just a celebration.
The-
It was a
it's
celebration.
just- yeah, it didn't actually happen, according to a former North Carolina coach. We all saw the Wolfpack lose to Wisconsin in the ACC Big Ten Challenge.
Yeah, we did see that.
A stupendous job of officiating, I might add.
Oh, hater.
Guys, do you know what they say about every team that plays the Badgers?
What do they say about every team that plays the Badgers?
They say that they're full of charge.
Oh,
Well, we got,
That-
we got
That joke
Christmas
was so
drinks
bad.
is falling.
That joke was so bad it
It's
knocked
breaking
off some
Christmas
lights.
decorations. Wow. That's the, all right.
And
All
then
right.
I don't know also if you saw Braxton Beverly this week shaved his beard.
I did see that.
Turns out Kevin Keats sort of forced him to, apparently.
Yeah, Kevin Keats regulating on the facial hair.
Keats said this about it. He said, I didn't like his beard at first, and then it grew on him.
So that's how it's going to be.
How have you thought about NC State's look? Obviously, it was great to get the early wins, but as many people noted, there weren't a lot of tests in there. They go to Wisconsin, they get a test, end up with a loss, but not really a bad loss, and especially when you can pin it on some, flopperific stuff. What do you think about NC State? Yeah, I tried to make a word out of flopperific.
Yeah.
It was close.
Just failed. It's like a train. It
It
just
really,
got stuck on the
it
track.
really flopped.
It did.
Yeah.
It did.
That joke flopped. Hey.
What do you think about the Wolfpack so far?
I think that they're going to have a decent season. I think that they definitely have a chance to go back to the tournament this year. But I think they'll be a decent team to watch. I'm kind of interested to see what Keats is going to do with these the substitutions. He's got 10 players that play all the time, and he's even earlier in the season he's been doing line like Roy Williams style line changes. So it's interesting to see how that's going to play out the rest of the year.
I've got the sense when Omar Yurtseven left that people thought it was like sort of his own decision. Like he wanted to go, and he said he wanted to go learn from Patrick Ewing. Watching them play now in their upbeat style, I'm wondering if Keats didn't like sort of, maybe hit up Patrick Ewing and tell him to call Omar Yurtseven because now it seems like they are much closer to playing the style that Keats wants to play. And
He's manipulating people to shave their beards and also to
that's
transfer.
right.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what's happening.
He's got shaves, transfers, and playing.
Markel Johnson has been awesome, by the way, too.
Yeah,
He's
been great.
everyone sort of forgets he was thrown in at the end of the 2016 class after Dennis Smith, but he's really, really, really good.
He was huge for them last year.
Yeah.
A lot of talk about him transferring after Gottfried's last year.
Right,
And
exactly.
that's really worked out well for the Pack that he's stuck around.
Before we end this segment, we have some legitimate North Carolina sports dad news.
Oh, yes.
Ooh.
Cam Newton.
Oh, that's right.
What's
Cam Newton had a baby a couple months ago,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
And yesterday they finally announced it, right?
Yes.
I guess
Yeah.
keep the kid out of the spotlight, whatever. But they posted pictures of their son on
I see it.
Instagram. Cametus
Yeah.
Newton. Middle name Swain.
Yeah. How about
no?
Wow.
No.
Middle name
Yes.
Swain.
Get
Yeah.
out of
Hashtag
here.
brand.
that? Yeah.
So Cam named his son after
Cam
you.
Swain Newton.
Yeah.
And you-
Until I hear otherwise,
Is
I
it-
will believe that Cam named
your
his
son
son
No,
after
after
Ben
Ben
Swain.
I'm looking on the internet right
I think
now.
we got to call him Swain. He's got to go by
it's gotta be
Swain.
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 Yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
Swain
before I
Newton.
go, guys, just remember, as always, stay daddy. I'm out.
He's Mark Wood. Daddy's always happy. He is Mark Wood. Those are dad jokes. You know you were laughing in your car. You were trying to stifle the laughter. You didn't want to be seen laughing at those jokes, but you did laugh at those jokes. All right, Max Gongaware, we put a challenge on you. Could you come up with a joke? What was the Pittsburgh Pirates player's name?
Lonnie Chisenhall.
Lonnie Chisenhall. Do you have a dad joke for Lonnie Chisenhall?
No, I don't.
Okay. All right.
See, it's not as easy as it looks, as I make it look.
That's right. We'll give him a break to work about. I feel like there's something in there.
Yeah, you got to be careful of Chisenhall.
Yeah.
Chisenhall.
Yeah.
There we go. On the other
Does
side,
that count?
we will try to get
It's a family show.
we will try to get a live report from Train Watch 2018. If we don't get a live report on the train, we'll at least Try to get you some for entertainment purposes only good picks. Good teams win, great teams cover. Coming up next with Josh Goodson. This is Sports Channel 8, the radio show.